One. Welcome, this is Nuke Marine presenting Let's Read Japanese, course series for the reading of Japanese text alongside its audio counterpart. Today's video is going to be Shinya Shokudo, Season 5, Episode 1, or the 41st episode of the show. Yeah, technically 51st video. There's some anyways, it's a little complicated, because there were 3 seasons of this on regular Japanese TV, and then 2 seasons of it on Netflix. In addition to, there was 2 movies that I did a Let's Read on, which is kind of like a season of itself. So, total, by the time this is all said and done, will be 60 videos, and this is the 51st video I've done for Shinya Shokudo. Okay, so before we get started, for those of you on YouTube, if you enjoy this video, remember to give it a thumbs up and leave a comment, because feedback's always welcome. If you enjoy the series and you'd like to see more like it, and I have many more series planned like this into the future, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Finally, this is all part of the Let's Learn Japanese project. So if you appreciate what I've been doing to help the Japanese language learning community in all the various ways that I've been doing it, and you'd like to show your support in some way, one method is via the Patreon, so the link to that is in the description below. In addition, there are links to the community Discord and the Let's Learn Japanese website that Otaku put together. Lastly, if you'd like to hire me, really like to do one-on-one, face-to-face for whatever reason. Usually it's walking you through the steps of setting up Anki, or answering questions or concerns, or talking about resources or methods. Then the hourly rates and the payments are via the Patreon, and the direct link to that is in the description as well. All right, so for those of you on... So, since this is the start of a new season, what I like to do at the start of every new series is go into what is Let's Read Japanese. Okay, first thing, you need something to read. So off to the side is going to be the text I'll be reading. So that's here. So what this is, these are subtitle files that have been ripped and put into a script format. Here's the episode. There's the time in minutes and seconds. And then there's the line of dialogue that'll match up to what you'll be seeing on the screen up above. All right. Now, this is coming directly from Netflix, so this is where I got the subtitles from. I ripped them utilizing Chijimeru. Currently, it's in version 20.25. It might, because of updates to Chrome or Netflix, it might stop working at any time. However, it's functional at the moment, so it's really good for not only getting the subtitles, but also the audio files that you'll be, for those of you on Twitch, y'all be playing after each of these, each of the Let's Reads. I don't do that for the YouTube uploads. Sorry guys. Anyway, so there's the text that I'll be reading. So as the audio up above is playing, I read along with the text. Right now, the major benefit to this is that you see text, you get to hear how it's pronounced. That's a big benefit, because no matter the language, this is true in English or Japanese or any other language. It's just that you make sure you're pronouncing it you're hearing how it's pronounced as a native would pronounce it. Okay, there is that. In addition to, there are benefits. Reading along to audio does help increase the comprehension and retention of the information that of what you're reading. I found that is true also in your native language. It also seems to be true from personal experience with the secondary language, or your second or later language. I've only got 2 languages, sorry. The third thing the next thing, the benefit here is that as I'm reading along, if I see a word I don't know, I have a pop-up dictionary called Yomi-chan. So all I need to do is hover over a word. Let's say kyaku here, and one of the dictionaries I have, Sanseido, is a Japanese to Japanese dictionary, so I can see the Japanese definition if I need to, or if I want to, I can scroll on down, and then there's the Japanese to English definition. Also Sanseido, but also from Kinkyusha. Then if I want to, I then go back and reread the Japanese definition if I got the context as to what they're talking about in English. There it is. So that's another benefit of, again, reading to audio. The next major benefit, and it's hard to understate, but while you're reading this, you get a comprehension. You understand what the sentence, if there was a word in the sentence you didn't comprehend, well, now you comprehend it, which means you comprehend the sentence. And you do enough of those sentences, it would have been normally incomprehensible. You've turned the conversation, the scene, then also the episode into something much more comprehensible than your current level of Japanese would have allowed. So in essence, allows you to punch above your body weight, to consume media that it would normally be outside your level of understanding. what I recommend though is once you do this, and you've gone through, you've done a let's read, watch the episode one more time as it's normally. Turn off the subtitles, both either English or Japanese. Just watch it and just appreciate for what it is. You can also turn on the subtitles, Japanese subtitles. That's fine. But it's just that you'll find out that there is a level of comprehension of the show that just wouldn't have been present even if you'd watch it 2, 3, or more times by itself. Because again, you spent the time to study and you essentially did some studying time to make everything what was unknown that is now known, if that makes sense. All right. So speaking from experience, this is fun. This is enjoyable. And it's early on, if you do this, like I recommend people start this when they're about 2,500 words. In Japanese, assuming English or another European language is their native language, get it to about 2,500 words in Japanese, about 500 to 1,000 kanji if you utilize that method also via RTK or KKLC. But the reason I want it at that level, so you're not fighting every word in the sentence. Hopefully every sentence there might be a new word that you need to look at, a new word or phrase. And it gets easier as time goes on. First time you might notice it takes you through 5 to 10 minutes of a show, might take you an hour to get through or more. Later on, like with in my case, if I rush it, I could probably do it in 1.5 times. So if it's 20 minutes of video, it might take me 30 minutes to get through if I rush it. If I don't rush it, I take my time, 2 to 1. So it might take me 20 minutes for every 10 minutes of video. So there you go. So yeah, that's the Let's Read. Just do episode by episode. Pick a season. You can also do it with movies, but what I recommend is do it for about an hour or so, then go back and watch what you read through for the last hour. Be that 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever it is. Just kind of take a break, enjoy what you've studied, and then continue on the story after that. Okay, with that, we can get started. This is, again, episode 1 this is the first episode of the 5th season. I don't remember this episode at the moment. I might recall it. I might have seen it. I might not. I don't know. That was the thing about this particular series, is that it's episodic. It's episodic in nature. So all the episodes are standalone. So you can watch it in any order, and it's pretty much enjoyable, no matter the order. A couple times there are callbacks to previous episodes or characters, but for the most part, yeah, the story is standalone, and it's an enjoyable drama. I've had a lot of fun with it. I think comedy drama. It's a bit more drama than comedy. But with that said, let's get started. So we're at 33 minutes. I started about 25 minutes in, so that was an 8-minute introduction, I think, if I remember correctly. But yeah, let's go. So I'll add
Netflix オリジナルシリーズ新宿の夜景、大ガードの下をすり抜けていく1台のタクシー。靖国通りを進むと活気づく歌舞伎町の明かりが目の前に広がる。
All right. I'll add that this is the benefit of shows that were made for Netflix. Usually, if there's a Japanese show, they will have an additional audio, descriptive audio, that's also in Japanese. They also, this also exists in other languages as well. So if there's an English drama made for Netflix or a Korean drama made for Netflix, normally they'll also have audio description added as one of the options. Select it if you have a chance. I think it's worth it. So with this, it means normally what I do with these subtitles is I'll skip to the next subtitle. But because this particular drama has audio descriptions, I will leave it on. So I won't be skipping throughout the episode, which is going to take me a little bit longer to get through. But the benefit's going to be again, there's kind of some fun to just listening to the audio description. It's not necessary, but it's a nicety.
が終わり、人々が家路へと急ぐ頃、
Sorry about that. Go back.
一日が終わり、 人々が家路へと急ぐ頃、俺の一日は始まる。
路地裏の飲み屋街に佇む小さな店、飯屋。開店前の豚汁の仕込み、ごま油をひいた鍋で豚バラ肉を炒める。大根、人参、椎茸、こんにゃくなどを加え、だし汁を注ぎ味噌を溶く。
営業時間は夜12時から朝7時頃まで。人は深夜食堂って言ってるよ。
青いサムエに前掛けをつけたマスター、表の提灯に明かりを灯す。
客が来るかって？それが結構来るんだよ。
柱時計が夜中の12時を打つ。深夜食堂第1話、チキンライス。
Chicken rice.
交番に巡回中の札。屋台のラーメンをすする野口と泉。吊るされたフロックマンのフィギュアを野口が割り箸で示す。
これ全然売れないね。
店主が目を上げる。
このまま売れずにここにいてほしいなんて思うようになって。
情が湧くんだ。
なんだかこんなもんでも。
泉が腕時計を見る。
そろそろですよ。ごちそうさまです。
おい、
二人がそれぞれ小銭を数え、野口がまとめて店主に渡す。
はい、
はい、ちょうど。
これは何？
これ
屋台に置かれたおもちゃの赤い馬。ゼンマイ仕掛けでつながれた棒の周りを歩く。
メリーゴーランドみたいだな。一頭だけど孤独だな。これも売れないな。同じとこくるくる回る。
1000円の値札。
人生も
ぐるぐる。
同じとこくるくる回る。
1000円の値札。
人生も
黄昏は後にして。
Also got a. Does that sound familiar? Yellow. Also got a. You got the. Evening? Dusk? Yeah, dusk. Also got a. Also got a. Usugurei Toki. Yeah, so you got to know Usugurei Toki. Makes sense. Also got a.
黄昏は後にして仕事しましょ
だな。ごちそうさん。
はい、どうも。
スナックの店内。野口が携帯電話で話す。
脇から被害届が出されていた財布も確認。脇から被害届が出されていた財布も確認。ええ、このまま。
Make sure about here. Yeah, yeah.
ええ、脇から被害届が出されていた財布も確認。ええ、このまま本社に連行します。
客に。
ええ、このまま本社に連行します。
客に頭を下げる泉。
う。皆さん、お騒がせしました。
ママの絹代が眉を潜める。
窃盗ってこの人何よ？
うな。
とって
だれる中年。
皆さん、
窃盗ってこの人何よ？
うなだれる中年男。
オールナイト上映の映画館で置き引きを繰り返してたんです。常習。オールナイト上映の映画館で置き引きを繰り返してたんです。常習犯です。
make sure about that. Joe, the first showing or screening? Joe, hold on, night Joe, Okihiki.
オールナイト上映の映画館で置き引きを繰り返してたんです。常習犯です。
そう映画館暗いものね。
たまに映画が面白くて盗み忘れたこと
顔を上げる
がありました。
窃盗犯。
最近だと例えば
映画の感想は本社で聞くから。
お話を伺うことがあるかもしれないのでご協力よろしくお願いします。
はい。
飯屋。カウンターに赤いジャケットの男がいる。
ってことは 何注文してもいいわけですか？
できるもんならね。
左目に傷跡のあるマスター。
客に選択肢を与えるように見せて、実は店が導く。面白い設定だな。
設定って？
顔を見合わせるチュウさんとルミ。
チキンライスできますか？
マスターが厨房を振り返る。
できるよ。
じゃあそれとビールを。
あいよ。
鶏肉、
Chicken rice.
玉ねぎ、マッシュルームを炒め、トマトケチャップを加える。フライパンをゆすり、全体をなじませる。白飯を入れ、さらに炒める。仕上げにグリーンピース、鮮やかな緑が赤いチキンライスを引き立てる。白い皿に平らに盛り、カウンターに置く。
お待ち。
笑顔になる赤いジャケットの男。
いただきます。
ネクタイ、ポケットチーフも赤。この字の
That's the same actor as Kurikawa Techo. Okay, I believe so.
カウント。
いただきます。
ネクタイ、ポケットチーフも赤。この字のカウンターに立つマスター。
どうだい？
どうだい？
うまい。あ、僕赤いって言います。
だから
赤いの服を示すルミ。
驚いたね。食い物まで赤いのを頼むとはね。
巣鴨のお年寄りにも赤い下着が人気あるでしょ。
Wait. Why am I the nest, right? Sugamo. Okay, so that's a location. Gotcha. Sugamo.
巣鴨のお年寄りにも赤い下着が人気あるでしょ。元気が出るって。
ほうとうなずくチュウさん。赤井がグリーンピースを皿の端に避ける。
グリーンピース苦手だったかい？
子供の頃は。だけど今は。
パクッと食べてみせる。
最近こういう昔ながらのチキンライスを作ってくれる店がなくて。
Yeah, that is him.
それから赤井さん、チキンライスが気に入ったみたいで、時々来るようになったんだ。
別の日、飯屋。玄が赤い色の名刺を眺める。
もみさん、これ。
Momiyama. What is momi? I've never seen that kanji before. I mean, it's rice and a variant of sword. Unhulled rice. Momi. Actually, let me... Is that a frequency ending? That's not there. So it's in remembering the kanji. Okay. I mean, it's not a complicated kanji, but unhulled rice. Yeah, okay, I mean, you can kind of imagine that. It's not too difficult. Momiyama.
もみさん。
Oh, again.
これ。確かに赤い新一郎だ、ね。
白髪のもみ山。
そんなに有名なのかい？
超有名なゲームクリエイターだよ。
ただテレビゲームだろ。
もみ山がカウンターを叩き、チュウさんを見る。
赤石が作ったドアツードア。
赤石が作った。Door to door.
通称 D2D シリーズは爆発的な人気を呼んで世界中にプレイヤーがいるんです。
Exploded in popularity.
なんだよあんた。
Oh, let me hear that again. Sorry.
赤石が作ったドア2ドア通称 D2D シリーズは爆発的な人気を呼んで世界中にプレイヤーがいるんです。
Make sure about that one. Yeah, in just a very short time.
なんだよあんた。
モイさんはな。
And he also, I've seen him. I assume that's the same actor that is in. He's been in a few dramas, but he'll also be in Hanzao Naoki season 2, the second half of season 2.
俺のゲームマスターなんだよ。
ゲームマスター。
料理作んじゃねえぞ。師匠のことだからな。そう、マスターっつっても料理作んじゃねえぞ。師匠のことだからな。
はい、
おかわり。
もみ山の調子を取り替えるマスター。
でもなんでここに名刺置いてったんだよ。
彼がテレビのなんつったかな、ドキュメント番組の取材受けることになったらしくて。
ドキュメント、I mean documentary, but ドキュメント番組の取材受けることになったらしくて。
彼がテレビのなんつったかな、
なんつったかな。
ドキュメント番組の取材受けることになったらしくて、うちでも撮影させてもらえないかって頼まれたんだよ。
すげえじゃねえかよ。それ絶対引き受けろよ。
にしてもあの赤い格好やめた方がいいんじゃねえかな。いくら名前が赤いでもよ。
つまらんダジャレしか言わねえ薄っぺらな藤四郎には。
ダシャレ、boring, let's see, ダシャレ。Bad joke, okay. ダシャレ。そっぺら。そっぺらな。どしろ。何それ。素人。So yeah, 素人 is a amateur or the beginner. Let's say 素人にはつまらんだしゃれしか言わねえ。嘘っぺらな。
つまらんダジャレしか言わねえ薄っぺらな藤四郎には人生の攻略本が必要ですね。
攻略本。I don't know that. Strategy guide. 攻略本。
人生の攻略本が必要ですね。
人生はゲームと違ってリセットできないからね。
だよね。
さすがもみさん深いわ。
中さんが面白
深いじゃなくて常識だよ。
くなさそうにビールを飲む。撮影日。
そんなわけでうちの店で撮影することになった。
マスターがカメラに近づく。
マスター、料理準備お願いします。
慌てて店へ戻るマスター。
I find it hard to believe he would agree to this, just because if the restaurant became popular, it kind of ruins what it can be.
こんな感じです。
店内。
OK です。じゃあ赤井さんよろしくお願いします。
ディレクター。じゃあ、もみさん。
よろしく。じゃあ赤井さんよろしくお願いします。よろしくお願いします。
赤のジャケット。
Where are we at? Okay, gotcha.
よろしくお願いします。
赤のジャケット、ネクタイ姿。
じゃあ行きます。はい、3、2。
赤いのオフィス。
失礼します。昨日言われたマルチエールのモーション調査。
マルチェロ。モーション。マルチェロ、モーション。
昨日言われたマルチエールのモーション調整できました。
早いね。今見られる。
取材班が撮影している。
指の動きはできたんですが、首がどうも。
首が大事なんだよ。こうやって動かないと迫力出ないだろう。こうやって動かないと迫力出ない。
テレビの画面。
でも首が
指の動きはできたんですが、首がどうも。
首が大事なんだよ。こうやって動かないと迫力出ないだろう。こうやって動かないと迫力出ない。
テレビの画面。
赤井がテレビゲームと出会ったのは高校生の頃だった。本人は現実逃避だったと10回する。
もともとは
現実逃避。 Escape? Escape from reality. 逃避。現実逃避。
もともとは
本人は現実逃避だったと10回
もともとは
10回 Speaks from the heart. Let's see. Reminisce. Okay. 10回 Anyway, but make sure about that one. 現実逃避。
本人は現実逃避だったと10回
もともとは旦那がバーテンしてたの。
砂台。絹よ。知る。Usually they'll say the name.
でも5年前に亡くなってね。もともとは旦那がバーテンしてたの。でも5年前に亡くなってね、子供もいないし、まあ一人でやるには気楽だと思って続けてるだけ。
客と話す絹よ。
オープンはね、ギリギリ昭和に間に合った。
じゃあ30年以上だ。おめでとうママ。
ありがとう。
ママ。
カウンター越しに客からビールをついでもらう。一口のみテレビの画面に目をやる。飯屋のカウンターに座る赤井が映っている。
いただきます。
チキンライスを食べる赤井。
チキンライスにこだわりがあるっておっしゃってましたね。
How much?
子供の頃、誕生日とか特別な日にはこれがごちそうだったんです。
赤井は養護施設です。
絹代がグラスを置く。
赤井真一郎という名前も本名ではなく。
So he was raised in an orphanage? Or I mean in foster care? Yogo Shitsetsu. Yeah, children's home.
赤井は養護施設です。
絹代がグラスを置く。
赤井真一郎という名前も本名ではなく。
新一郎 right? 新一郎。
赤井真一郎という名前も本名ではなく。施設の園長から付けられた
赤いブレザーの男の子の写真。
この施設の園長から付けられた
赤いブレザーの男の子の写真。
この写真は保護された後に撮られた。
この話締めっぽいね。
Tear jerking? Yeah, depressing. Okay, depressing. 白っぽいね。
この話締めっぽいね。
画面を見つめる絹代。
まあどこにでも転がってる話だけどね。
So, since they're showing her, I assume like she's the mother that had to give him up for, foster care.
辛かったですよ。過去は消せないわけですから。だから決めたんです。自分の人生を上書きしようって。
上書きしよう。Yeah, I mean, okay. Interesting.
自分の人生を上書きしようって。
Interesting. Okay. Rewrite one's life. Okay, that makes more sense. 上書きしようって。
自分の人生を上書きしようって。自分が誰なのか、そんなことで悩むのはもうやめにしようって。
ママ、
絹代がハッとする。
水割りにしようかな。
はい。
別の日、赤井のオフィス。
お母さん、しんちゃんに会いたくて。
初老の女性が訪ねてきている。
番組の中でも私自身が その呼び名だけは覚えていたと話しましたが、それを見たからですよね。
何言ってんのよ。しんちゃんはしんちゃんじゃない。
DNA 鑑定受けてもらえますか？
I know that, yeah, content.
あなたは父親の連れ子だから私とは血がつながってないのよ。
Okay.
白毛顔の赤い目を伏せる。
母親が何人も名乗り出た？
飯屋。
赤井さんが出た番組見て。
マスターが中さんに小鍋を出す。
笑って話してたけど、しばらくうちにも顔出してないんだよ。
そりゃ落ち込むぜ。みんな自分のお金目当てだってことを突きつけられたんだから。
マスター。
Funny man. I mean, it looks like having a search for kanemeate. Do anything for money. I think this means doing anything for money. Kanemeate. Kanemeate.
マスター。
突きつけられた。みんな自分のお金目当てだってことを突きつけられたんだから。
マスターも落ち込んでるみたいだしな。
なんで？
ね？
テレビ見た客が押し寄せて食。
Yeah. That's one of the things. And by the way, this is true. I've known some restaurants like that I've gone to where there was like the one I mentioned was like a rotisserie chicken place, amazing rotisserie chicken. But they say like they will sometimes you'll have like rate programs, TV programs that'll come like let's say Yokosuka, and they're looking for restaurants to kind of highlight for their show. And some of the restaurants will turn down the request because what'll happen is people will travel to Yokosuka and wait for will just go to that one restaurant because they saw it on TV. And it's amazing. I've seen it before. I mean, I've seen it. It happens. Like you'll be walking down the street, you'll just see this line of people waiting to get on the restaurant. There'll be plenty of empty restaurants, but they're all wanting to go to that restaurant because that's the one they saw on TV. And it sounds like it's a good idea. It's like, oh my God, you're going to be getting like lots of customers. But what happens is usually a lot of these smaller restaurants, because they do have a sense of, an individual sense because the owner is the person running it. And they are able to run the restaurant because they have a certain number of customers they can handle. You all of a sudden start getting a lot more customers. The quality of service has to go down to meet that need just because of the amount of time involved. So that's why they say, look, they don't need their business is good enough as is. They don't need it like to just get this surge of customers that can happen. And then other times there are some that, kind of like the idea because maybe, again, it can help their business and, the customers will you'll have this brief surge that will happen. They know that, but then after that, the number of customers will dwindle down a bit more back to maybe not that above normal, but so it becomes a new normal, but not like what it was after the TV showing. So there is that as well. It just depends. It's just a fact though that you would have a line of people when it's like, yeah, there's still plenty of places you can go. Okay, yeah, you didn't get to go to that one, but there's plenty of good restaurants around Yokosuka. So yeah, but there you go. Anyway, sorry. Carry on.
食材が足りなくなるんじゃないかってえらく食材が足りなくなるんじゃないかってえらく心配してたけど、
客は3人。
言わずもがなだな。
マスター、ここは私たちが支えていくって。
急に終わって。
急終わって。
よかった急に終わってよかったんじゃないか逆に。
厨房へ戻るマスター。
期待してたんだ。
決まってんじゃねえ。逆になんて絶対言わねえのによ。
Well, plus it depends on. It might have been with the agreement, like, hey, you can shoot in the bar, but don't mention where the location is. That happens as well. Like, I think like there was a restaurant. There was a series called from 10 years back that was shot. A lot of the scenes were shot in Yokosuka. It was Yusei no Kizuna. Now I did a let's read of that drama, and But yeah, like a couple of restaurants. In fact, it was a restaurant that my wife and her friends went to a lot before we had met. But because they never gave the address, they used the restaurant for shooting the scenes, but never gave the address, so they didn't get the surge of people that you would expect, even though it was used in the shooting of the particular scenes. So I'm wondering. I was saying that, like, so I'm wondering if maybe they didn't give the location of that particular restaurant where that scene was shot, so you wouldn't have this surge of customers that these three were worrying about.
いらっしゃい。
いらっしゃい。
会釈をして戸を閉める。
こないだの放送を見て。
お、
マスター、効果あったじゃない。
笑顔を抑えきれないマスター、絹代が座る。
あんたテレビゲームやんの？
まさかチキンライスですよ。チキンライスをお願いしていいですか？あんまり美味しそうだったから。
あよ。
チキンライスを食べる絹代、ゆっくりと噛みしめる。
これがそのゲーム？
ルミがスマートフォンを見ている。
ついに発売されんだよ。
昔よく作ってたんです、チキンライス。
お子さんとかに作ってた？
はい。
はい。取材されてた方はお目にならないんですか？
最近忙しいみたいで、ここんとこ来てないね。
そうですか。
うつむく絹代をじっと見ているマスター、そしらぬふりで手を動かす。画面に映るゲームの映像、廃墟のようなビルの内部。赤井がゲームをプレイしている。後ろに並ぶ制作スタッフたち、かすかに乱れる映像。激しくブレ始める。険しい表情の赤井。画面が黒くなる。赤井が立ち上がるとスタッフが慌ただしく動き始める。
Playtesting is important.
赤井が呆然と立ち尽くす。
最後の最後にこれかよ。
飯屋のカウンターに突っ伏す赤井。マスターがコップの水を置く。
ずいぶん
It did look like a horror
疲れ
game,
てる
though.
みたいだね。
年ですかね。徹夜したら体が持たなくて。
起き上がった赤井が水を飲む。斜め向かいの客に気づき会釈をする。絹代がお辞儀を返す。
テレビを見てきてくれたんだ。チキンライスが美味しそうだって。
そうですか。俺も大好きなんですよ。
絹代に笑いかける。うつむいたままの絹代。
ごめんね、しんちゃん。
ハッとする赤井。怪訝そうにマスターを見る。厨房でマスターが出汁を引く。カウンターの絹代。
あなたの父親には奥さんも子供もいて、産んでいいよって言われたけど認知はできないって。
赤井が苦い。
産んでいいよって言われたけど認知はできないって。
赤井が苦い顔で聞いている。
結局捨てられて一人で育てようと頑張ったけど、手に職もない20歳過ぎの小娘には限界でした。親にも縁を切られて誰にも相談できなくて、いっそ二人で死のうって思いました。
勝手だな。
誤解しないでくださいね。あなたのことを母親だと思って言ったわけじゃないんで。
それで最後の思い出にしようって
赤井を見る絹代。
遊園地に行って喜ぶあの子の顔見てたら道連れにするのが怖くなって、あれに乗りたいって言うから置き去りにして逃げました。メリーゴーランドの木馬に。
結局あなたは死ねなかったんですね。最低ですね。俺には母親はいません。向こうだって同じでしょう。捨てたんだから。
今さら母親ずらして会えたきりじゃないです。
目をそらして
今さら母親ずらして会えたきりじゃないです。
目をそらしている赤井。絹代が席を立つ。支払いをしてお釣りを受け取る。マスターにお辞儀をし、去り際にちらっと赤井を見る。
赤い服よく似合ってるよ、新一。
目を見開く赤井。冷静を装う。絹代が出ていく。
親なんかいなくても生きていけるってそう信じて。なのに今さら。
ビールを煽る。型抜きされたチキンライス。
お待ち。
星の形に並べたグリーンピース。
これって
グリーンピース食わず嫌いだけど、この形にしたら食べてくれるようになったってお母さん言ってたよ。
あの人新一って俺のこと。
本名かい？
あの時名前の書かれたメモだけがポケットの中に入ってたらしいです。それに場所がメリーゴーランドだったってことを知ってるのもほんの一握りです。
会えたきりじゃないって分かってて会いに来たんじゃないのかな。
赤井が唇を固く結ぶ。
この2週間毎日その戸を開けて今日はいるかもしれないってビクビクしながらあんたのことを待ってたよ。
涙ぐんだ目でマスターに一礼する赤井。スプーンを持つ。一口食べ噛みしめる。
保護された時着てた赤い服、その後 ボロボロになるまで来続けたんです俺。見つけてもらいたかったから。見つけてもらいたかったから母親にずっと俺。
マスターが瞬きをして涙をこらえる。赤井が食べ続ける。
それからしばらくして赤井さんの新作ゲームが発売された。
飯屋の戸が開き、若いカップルが出てくる。
ごちそうさま。
カウンターに並ぶ籾山と源。
もみさん、だいぶお疲れのようですね。
源ちゃんこそ寝てないみたいだね。
二人とも睡眠時間を削って連日連夜どっぷりハマってるらしい。
皿屋
どっぷり。
連日連夜どっ
See if that's 連日連夜どっぷりハマ
ってるらしい。
皿や丼を片付けるマスター。
時間泥棒だよあれは。
時間盗まれたのに腹も立たないどころかお礼を言いたくなっちゃうんですから。
苦労しい矛盾だね。
この気持ち伝えたい。
矛盾 I like that. That's like a contradiction. I like the theory of like right there. Inconsistent. Just like a spear that can stab through anything and a shield can block anything. So the inconsistency. Kind of like the story with that. Yeah, so here they're actually this definition is kind of telling the story. Yeah, okay, yeah, in fact it even has a little story of where that came from right here. That's kind of cute. Okay.
なあ、この気持ち。
苦労しい矛盾だね。
矛盾だね。
この気持ち伝えたいな。
赤井さん来ねえかな。どうかな。うちよりチキンライスのうまい店見つけたみたいだから。
スナック。棚のグラスを整える絹代。振り向いて言葉を失う。
いらっしゃい。
ドアを開けたまま赤井が立っている。ベージュのジャケットにベージュのズボン姿。ためらいがちに店に入る。席を見回しカウンターの絹代の前に座る。
どうぞ。
メニューを見る赤井。
ビールとチキンライスください。
はい。
カウンターに瓶ビールとグラスを置く絹代。栓抜きを出し瓶をつかむ。
いいよ自分でやるから。それより腹減ってんだよ。
ちょっと待ってて。
奥の厨房へ行く。口に手を当てうつむく絹代。背中が波打つ。顔を上げフライパンを持つ。カウンターで待つ赤井。厨房の音にじっと聞き入る。かすかに表情が和らぐ。ラーメンの屋台。野口と泉がスープをすする。
何十年も生き別れになった親子がマスターのとこで再会していろいろあったけど仲直りしたらしいぞ。
そういうことあるんですよね、あの店は。
人って和解できんだな。
できんだな。
たまにはいいんじゃないですか。
だな。
おもちゃの馬が回り続ける。出演マスター小林薫、赤井真一郎、中村徹。
中村徹。
絹代山口美也子。
絹代 OK。
中さん不破万作、現山中隆。
山中隆。
ルミ小林麻子。野口三石健、泉篠原由紀子。屋台店主中澤清六。
I'll be honest, like I wasn't and the last season I wasn't like paying attention to the names of the people, but you know, I tell you what, I'm going to listen to it now. I should have, now that I think about it, I should have did that with the first Netflix season.
もみ山江本明。
江本明 OK。
場面ごとのショットに並んでエンドロールが流れる。原作深夜食堂安倍野郎。思い通りにはならねえな近づ。
Okay. All right, so we'll stop it there. Yeah, it seems like with Shinya Shokudo, there's usually like one episode per season. Last season, there wasn't, but there's usually like an episode that like just makes me cry. So this episode definitely made me cry. Not as much as the ones that happened in the first three those episodes from the first three seasons. Usually those dealt with people passing away. This one was kind of sad in a different. There was a sad one last season, but not too heavy. I think it had a better ending. But yeah, this one was sad. Just, and now it's like it happened was a lady. She's in her 20s. She's 20, just became 20 years old. Has a child. No boyfriend, no husband, no boyfriend. No family connections. What can she do? You know, she does not know what is the right thing to do. And so she, yeah, again, abandoned the child. It sounded like she wasn't looking for, forgiveness. Well, in a way, she wanted to apologize, but maybe she wasn't looking for forgiveness. I don't know on that part. Yeah, it's sometimes there are situations where it's probably the best for him was not, that sometimes you get some people that selfishly think like, they were going to somehow do the right thing, and then it ends up just getting worse and worse. Sometimes the best thing is like, this person doesn't need to be raising children. It could have been the situation, maybe not with her. Maybe she could have worked with her. Who knows? There are some people you realize like they're like, if they have one, they shouldn't be having kids. Barring that though, they definitely shouldn't be raising the kids if they do have the kids. It sounds cruel, but definitely there are some people that would just be very destructive to a child's life, and then that could create all sorts of other messes as well. I mean, these are extreme cases. We're not saying like just do this, just this person's not a high school grad. No, it's not that. It's if she just had the support. So maybe if there was like a government support structure for single moms, maybe if there was that probably would have been helping. So that's a different story, and there's reasons for that. It's like saying in the situation she had, maybe she needed someone to talk to. She didn't have the right person to talk to. They could say that there is a solution that didn't involve her giving up her son. Small little things. I mean, just where you don't feel like you because it doesn't seem like she was a bad person. She was just a desperate person. So it's in there. It's like she did the best that she could based on what she thought was right. So I'll leave it at that. And it could be another, way to say is like also, shouldn't there have been some type of, at least some type of support structure for those that don't have a supporting family? It could help out that way. Or it could have been just because of her mindset at that time being, maybe she was just her mindset, her personalities at that time just wouldn't have, even if there were solutions or support structures that were present, she was refusing to take them. Sometimes it happens. People don't grab the lifelines that are there. They're so desperate trying to, in their own situation, they don't notice that there is help around them. It could be that as well. I don't know. So yeah, this is some of these episodes are heavy like this. If obviously this is obvious if you've seen these series up to this point. Some of them are funny as hell. Some of them are dramatic, and then a few just are tearjerkers like this. It is kind of funny that, again, the actor there is like, again, but that again, then again, in Japanese media, the pool of actors is kind of small, so you will see the same people pop up now and again. In fact, even in this, it's kind of funny, like the guy who plays the patrolman is also the guy that played the used to run the illegal gambling den that then became sort of like a philosophical spouting spiritual guy or something that's now living in Korea. Okay, I'm gonna leave that there. For those of you on YouTube, I'll be back tomorrow with episode 2 of the 5th season. So I'm sorry. So for those of you on Twitch, stick around. I'll be I'll be playing the audio, and also doing the other 2 videos I have planned for today. So anyway, for those of you on YouTube, if you enjoyed this video, remember to give it a thumbs up. If you enjoyed this series, subscribe to see more. If you appreciate what I'm doing, help the Japanese language community, I'd like to support that. One way is through the Patreon, links in the description. And there's also links to the community Discord and the website. And if you need one-on-one counseling, face-to-face help, whatever, or usually it's just helping set up the Anki and answering any questions or concerns and describing how to utilize resources. The hourly rates and the payments are also via the Patreon, but in this specifically for that, there's a direct link in the description. Okay, so this has been Shinya Shokudo Season 5, Episode 1. All right, so the 51st video I've done for the Shinya Shokudo series. So there you go. Even though it says episode 41 in the title, because the movies were like in 10 parts. There you go. Really not much more to say than that. Thank you all very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. For those of you on Twitch, again, stand by. All right, later, guys.